Safety professional, practice questions. Question: which of the following air pollutants is responsible for acid rain? A. Carbon monoxide, CO. B. Oxygen, O2. C. Particulate matter 10. D. Sulfur dioxide. O. Answer: D. Sulfur dioxide. Question: what is important to remember about fire-rated walls? A. Fire-rated walls do not need to be maintained once built. B. Fire-rated walls must not allow passage of heat, fire gas, or smoke. C. Fire-rated walls must be clearly marked with an exit sign. D. Fire-rated walls do not need to be sealed around penetrations of electrical conduit, but they must be sealed around plumbing penetrations. Answer: B. Fire-rated walls must not allow passage of heat, fire gas, or smoke. Question: what part of the body may be diagnosed with Decoy vein syndrome? A. Thumb. B. Wrist. C. Elbow. D. Knee. Answer: A. Thumb. Question: which organization determines carcinogenicity of chemicals? A. ASTM. B. ANSI. C. NFPA. D. IARC. Answer: D. IARC. Question: at the operator's station 10 feet away from an industrial shaker, the sound level is documented to be 103.0 dB. What is the estimated sound level at 45 feet away from the shaker? A. 106.4 dB. B. 93.3 dB. C. 90.2 dB. D. 89.9 dB. Answer: D. 89.9 dB. Question: the Pareto principle states that A. the majority of all accidents are caused by human error. B. 80% of all problems come from 20% of the causes. C. Time, distance, and shielding are the foundation of radiation protection. D. The probability of success is based upon the continuance of maintenance. Answer: B. 80% of all problems come from 20% of the causes. Question: which solution describes claims-made insurance? A. Coverage that applies to liabilities incurred and asserted during the policy period. B. Coverage after the termination of the policy that applies to liabilities that occurred during the policy period. C. Coverage after the termination of the policy for liabilities that occur after the policy period. D. Coverage that applies to liabilities during the policy period and for a period of 10 years after termination of the policy. Answer: A. Coverage that applies to liabilities incurred and asserted during the policy period. Question: which three gases are typically evaluated in a confined space before entry? A. Oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen. B. LEL, carbon dioxide, nitrogen. C. Nitrogen, ammonia, carbon dioxide. D. Oxygen, LEL, carbon monoxide. Answer: D. Oxygen, LEL, carbon monoxide. Question: a company rents inflatable bouncing rooms to be used at children's birthday parties. The rental company includes a waiver for the parent to sign that the parent will not sue the company if a child is injured while using the device. What is the main purpose of the waiver? A. The main purpose is to create a legal document protecting the company from strict liability lawsuits. B. The main purpose is to create a legal document protecting the company from frivolous lawsuits. C. The main purpose is to create a legal document protecting the company from negligence lawsuits. D. The main purpose is to inform the parent of the risk associated with using the device. Answer: D. The main purpose is to inform the parent of the risk associated with using the device. Question: which of the following system safety analysis techniques may lead to an estimation of the probability of a catastrophic event? A. Management oversight and risk tree. B. Fault tree analysis. C. Preliminary hazard analysis. D. Failure modes and effect analysis. Answer: B. Fault tree analysis. Question: what is the most common type of workplace eye injury? A. Cataracts. B. Foreign body. C. Thermal burn. D. Chemical burn. Answer: B. Foreign body. Question: what will happen to personal heat load when air movement is increased at ambient temperatures greater than 104 F? A. Decreasing heat gain. B. Increases heat gain by convection but overall stress is reduced due to evaporation. C. Increases heat gain. D. Decreases heat gain by evaporation by increases conductive heat gain. Answer: C. Increases heat gain. Question: a small business maintains a computer server to facilitate email and data storage. The fan on the server fan generates noise measured at 86 dBA at a nearby worker's desk. Which noise control solution should the business owner try first to lower the employee's noise exposure? A. Issue hearing protection devices with an NR greater than 5 to the worker. B. Buy a radio for the worker so that the employee can listen to music over the noise of the server. C. Build an enclosure around the server to contain the noise. D. Change the orientation of the server to direct the noise in a different direction. Answer: D. Change the orientation of the server to direct the noise in a different direction. Question: which of the listed worker activities poses the greatest risk for typical employees? A. Working with a Class 2 laser for 1 day. B. Working in an atmosphere of 0.5 ppm of benzene for 1 day. C. Working near a machine generating a noise level of 88 dBA for 1 day. D. Driving a delivery truck for 1 day. Answer: D. Driving a delivery truck for 1 day. Question: what is the minimum clearance needed between the ceiling of an office space and the top of materials stored on filing cabinets where sprinklers are flush with the ceiling? A. 6 inches. B. 12 inches. C. 18 inches. D. 24 inches. Answer: C. 18 inches. Question: which example below most closely describes negligence from a manufacturing company? A. The company tests a product extensively before selling to the public, but a previously unknown health hazard is discovered after the product has been on the market for 10 years. B. A consumer harms himself while using the product in an unintended manner. C. The company sells a product that does not perform as advertised in its marketing materials. D. The company knew that raw material quality is critical in the manufacturing process, but failed to perform quality control tests on raw materials. A batch of poor quality materials from a supplier results in consumer harm. Answer: D. The company knew that raw material quality is critical in the manufacturing process, but failed to perform quality control tests on raw materials. A batch of poor quality materials from a supplier results in consumer harm. Question: which occupational exposure below is linked with nasal cancer? A. Benzene. B. asbestos, C. cotton dust, D. formaldehyde. Answer, D. formaldehyde. Question, who should be the primary, most frequent, contact with the media during a large-scale hazardous material emergency? A. Incident commander, B. Safety officer, C. Financial officer, D. Public relations specialist. Answer, D. Public relations specialist. Question, which type of rigging arrangement with a sling will lift the greatest load? A. A single vertical leg attached to a hook, B. A vertical leg wrapped around the weight using a choke hold, C. A vertical basket hitch, D. Two slings tied in a knot. Answer, C. A vertical basket hitch. Question, which statement best describes a what-if analysis? A. It is an informal investigative method of evaluating hypothetical situations. B. It is a formal, systematic, logical and structured method to evaluate potential deviations of operations or design standards. C. It is a formal method of evaluating the effects of possible failures in a system. D. It is a structured deductively reasoned analysis to determine what events may lead to a catastrophic event. Answer, A. It is an informal investigative method of evaluating hypothetical situations. Question, what is one of the benefits of using a quiz at the end of a safety training lesson? A. A quiz can be written to ensure everyone answers all questions correctly and documents that the lesson objectives are met. B. A quiz can provide another learning opportunity. C. A quiz can inspire participants to learn more about the subject. D. A quiz can document improved attitudes of participants. Answer, B. A quiz can provide another learning opportunity. Question, which substance affects the central nervous system? A. Wood dust, B. Cotton dust, C. Asbestos, D. Arsenic. Answer, D. Arsenic.